Well,
Great.
well,
We're all set.
thank you. Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to you all to the Shamong Township Committee meeting of June 9th, 2026. We'll start with the call to order, please. Sunshine statement.
Please be advised that proper notice of this meeting has been given in compliance of the Open Public Meetings Act.
And we'd invite everyone to join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Do the roll call, please, Lisa.
Mr. Diamond?
Here.
Mr. DeCroce?
Here.
Ms. Mazitis?
Here.
Mr. Southwick?
Here.
Mr. Woods?
Here. Okay, next we're going to go to, we usually go right to public comment, but we've got Trooper Chris from the Red Lion Station who's here to give us an update on Murphy's Pit. So I want to get him on his way. So we'll start with you, Trooper. And I know that our solicitor, Doug, will want to make some comments as well. So I don't know who wants to start.
Thanks, sir. So we're aware of everything that's going on right now, they need complaints. Just call it in so we can send a troop out to respond. We do have resources to address it right now, however, such as like flares. However, the resources are all tied up with what's going on with World Cup right now. So immediately right now, we don't have those resources, we will get it back. A call, so we can send a troop out, and the faster you call, the faster we can get a troop out, so we can at least try and stop them and issue some sort of summons. But that's all I have right now, so. Any questions? Not too much.
Trooper, thank you. We appreciate you being here. And Doug, do you want to say anything while Trooper's still here?
I'm not sure if there's going to be public comment, but I'll just say that we have been giving monthly reports relative to where things stand in terms of the solar project that is going to occupy that site. The Bighorn Solar Company was previously going through ACE, Atlantic City Electric approval process for those projects. Earlier this year, they obtained those. They have also submitted to the Pinelands Commission process, and we anticipate that they'll be before our local board this year, probably within the next few months. They are under contract now, where previously they just had an option. Somebody got flowers for the record. Previously, they were just under an option. They are now under an actual agreement and are anticipating closing either this month or next month. So significant movement is happening on those projects. That is important because it's a win-win-win sort of on a lot of levels. Once solar goes in on that site, obviously it takes up the former pit space. We have some residents have hired an attorney. We've had a couple of communications, Zoom conferences with the attorneys involved, engineers from Bighorn. They did some initial tree felling to try and block some of the access points as the contract purchaser, and had put language in their agreement to allow them to do that. We have also asked that they start the fencing analysis and plan now so that it can be implemented as soon as possible when they purchase the property. Again, it's been a long process. We've been talking about Bighorn for a number of years now, but it really has started to move forward, and we're optimistic that we're going to see an actual project built out there, which helps again on a lot of levels. It's going to free up resources for the state police. It's going to stop the nuisance that the residents have been dealing with, and it's going to provide a positive rateable for the township on a property that's really been dead space for the town for so many years. Okay.
Thank you, Doug. Appreciate it. Trooper, thank you very much. Please give our regards to Lieutenant Long, and we appreciate you keeping your eye on this for us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your indulgence. We're going to open the meeting now to public comment. Anybody that has any comments We just ask that you be respectful of the other people in the audience, that you keep your time limit short. We're about the only town in New Jersey that does not limit your time, and we'd like to keep it that way. So just say your name and your address and whatever's on your mind, and whatever's on the agenda, we'd like to hear about it. Hi, Janet. Good evening.
Hi, I'm Janet Bowers. I live at 389 Stokes. I was here last month. I run trips for senior citizens. I would just like to remind you again that we always could use a budget line. We just got back from a wonderful trip to Niagara Falls in Toronto. Everybody had a great time. Perfect weather. And with a little budget help, we could open it to more. I have in my mind to give the veterans in our club a little break on ticket prices. And with some budget help, I could do that. So just keep me in mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Janet. I can't wait till I'm a senior so I can go on one of those trips. Anybody else have any other questions or comments? Yes, ma'am. We are, yes. Well, I jumped out of order because I wanted to get the trooper out of here as a courtesy to him. And so we already did number 3 on the agenda. So other than that, I'll try and stick directly to what, so right now we're at public comment. So if you have any public comment, come on up and identify yourself and you will be heard. Yeah, it's supposed to be agenda only items, but we're kind of, we allow people to come up and say what's on their minds. So can you come on up, ma'am, and just so we know you're speaking?
Seen you a long time. Hi, my name's Denise Ashworth. I live up the
Denise.
road. Hi there. My big deal is number 8. Everybody here for number 8? Who's at number 8?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Protective ordinances for the benefit, welfare of the community, of the environment, of the public. What do you have in place, if anything, for these ordinances to help us with the data center? So first of all, why is number 8 on here? Why
Number
it
8
on
is on there because we were having a discussion of whether or not we wanted to pass an ordinance which precluded any of these data centers. We spoke about this, Denise, about a month or 2 ago, and we are in the Pinelands, as you know, so there's no way that any data center is going to be built here. That's our feeling, and so that's why we haven't taken action to date. But without saying what other people are going to vote for, I think there's a consensus that you're never going to see a data center in Shamong. You're never going to get by our, well, I don't want to prejudge what the joint land use would do, but I don't think it would ever get approved before them or before this council, and more importantly, the Pinelands Commission. So that was just something that we had on discussion to see where we can flush this out.
Mayor, if I may.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you want me to discuss some of the other things that have happened, but I have said previously, and I still take the position sort of to echo what the mayor said. Our ordinance these uses didn't exist when our ordinances were put into place. Data centers as a use didn't exist. They would, if somebody came now, they would have to apply to the board for what's called a use variance. That is the highest level of relief that a board can grant. You have to show that the positive benefits and the purposes of zoning are enhanced, and that there's no negative impacts or that conditions are in place that will prevent those negative impacts from having any impacts on people. So I think it would be a very difficult to impossible task for somebody to obtain a use variance for a data center, okay? Having said that, there have been some other ordinances, including Pemberton has passed an ordinance. There have been other towns. I have something in draft. We haven't really had a chance to talk about it yet. I was going to give a report when we reach that point in the agenda, but the purpose of the discussion is sort of like a bootstrapping approach to the issue, recognizing in the ordinance that we don't believe it's a permitted use currently. We don't favor the use because of the potential impacts, and that we are amending the code to specifically identify the use and make it prohibited in all zones. It's just a draft ordinance. It's for discussion. Again, the governing body may say, we appreciate the time, Mr. Heinold, but we're satisfied with where we are. They may say, yeah, it doesn't hurt. Let's go ahead and consider adoption. But that's the purpose of having the discussion tonight.
But my question is the discussion of options. If it's never gonna happen, never, can you say never? I don't know. If it's never gonna happen, why do you
It's
want to have
or-
options?
It's protective ordinance options. So I'm explaining that we can leave the ordinance as it is, or we can take this option of actually adopting something to more directly address.
And is that something that you are thinking about doing or not doing, or you don't feel the need yet to do it?
I'm alerting the governing body that it's a possibility, and then they can decide whether they want to consider that and whether they want to direct us to put it on for first reading, in which case it would eventually be adopted, or if they, again, I don't know. We just haven't had that purpose of having it on the agenda.
Does that involve the Land and Zoning Commission, the zoning board?
Well, this is the governing body, so they, within the constraints of a lot of Pinelands regulations and all those sorts of things, have some authority over what our zoning code says. And then the zoning, the joint land use board basically implements and hears cases governed by what's on the books under those ordinances.
Okay, and one last question. Are there any current open applications for a data center?
There are not.
No one has come from a legal standpoint, a selling standpoint, a tech
No one has
standpoint,
approached us.
or a farmer who wants to sell their land to a tech company?
That's the biggest thing about out here is we don't have an MUA, we don't have water. So
Right.
I think everyone here would be in favor of well, we might be in favor of protective ordinance. I don't see the problem with it, but I can't imagine any industry, any company coming here and deciding they can do a data center on well water. It's just not a feasible, it's not a possibility really for them. So it's not in their business model to come to Shamong. But we've heard residents were very concerned about it, and they just don't want to, they want to see that it's 0%, not 0.00001. So, and I get that. And so I think that's why
Well,
we're talking about it.
very the aquifer is my main concern. That's
Ours
where I
as
get
well.
my water.
Ours as well. So
I mean,
we take it, Denise, you don't want one in your backyard, right?
What a pain.
Okay.
Say yes. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Denise. We appreciate you coming. Anybody else that would like to come up and say hello? Yes, ma'am. Hi. Just say your name.
Anastasia Zakara, 1 Stony Creek Court, Shamong. Just to the point that you're making, I think it would be beneficial before we make comment as to never or what is existing, that we look at what is happening in the space of data centers, because there are many what they're calling micro data centers, which do not need water. And they are currently being built in Allentown, Pennsylvania. So that might be beneficial information for the committee to look into. So as we're trying to preserve, this completely negates that. They don't have to use water.
If you have any, and can you send us a link possibly if you have
I will.
information on that?
I will.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else have any questions or comments? Judy, good evening.
I feel like everybody knows me. My name is Judy Shahinian and I live at 102 Willow Grove Road. And once again, I'm here with concerns about this circle and getting it approved by the Pinelands. No one has come to me owning my property or to Greg owning his property, telling us what they're taking from us. I mean, at what point does that happen? I mean, what are we thinking about putting a circle in a small town like Shamong? I don't care how much money is being spent on it. Why would we spend money to pave Willow Grove Road if you're going to rip it up to put a circle in? That's more money wasted. I just don't understand. And when I bought my home 6 years ago, I was never told about this circle. I was told there was going to be a blinky light and a four-way stop. What happened to that? That would be sufficient. We haven't even tried something less to be so aggressive and put a circle in a small county township. It just appalls me that no one has contacted myself or my neighbor about what's being taken from us and what are you giving us? Because you're killing the value of our homes. Had I have known this, which the town knew this, I would have never purchased this home. Never. But it was disclosed from me and I was lied to. And I have a problem with that. A real problem. And if this does get approved, I plan on opening a large lawsuit because this is not fair. At this point in time, if it's going to be approved, we should have been contacted by somebody. At some point, come and tell me what you're taking. I mean, I've heard so many stories. You're moving my driveway down an acre. You're taking 4 to 5 feet. How are you reimbursing me for the value of my home going to crap because I'm going to be sitting on a circle? I mean, 6 years of coming to this meeting. I feel like I don't even know what to say anymore. I feel empty.
Let me see if I can answer some of your questions, Judy. First of all, you spoke at the last Pinelands Commission, and you did very well. I also gave a statement, as you know. Since that, and other people did as well, and I appreciate all those people that came out or called or Zoomed in. Since that meeting, which was last month, I've learned that the approval is pending. And on this Friday at 9:30 a.m., there's going to be a meeting at the Pinelands in New Lisbon, New Jersey. The information is on the door outside. Hang on a second. The information is on the door. So I would encourage anybody in town that is opposed to the circle to show up at the Pinelands with your signs to let them know that we are not in favor of them approving the circle. Now, the board itself, none of the board members were on the council at the time when that came for a vote, other than for me, and I voted against the circle, as I think you know.
Yes.
So I've adamantly been against it. Originally, they came out and said the circle was going to be $20 million. So I was actually called up to Burlington County and had a meeting with them, at which time they told me it wasn't 20 million, but it was 2 million. And they tried to pressure me to get in favor of the circle, which I've never been in favor of. In fact, I said I would personally buy the signs, the blinking lights for the stop signs. I had to pay for it myself. So what did they do? There are accidents that have occurred there, so we have to do something.
Did them.
But it is not a Shamong road, it's a county road. So we don't have any control. We can't go out and put our own lights up. We can't put a bigger stop sign. We can't put a four-way. All the issues that we've discussed before are a no-brainer. We don't need a $2 million circle or a $20 million circle. So, whether or not we can do, today was the last day to file an appeal before they're approved, their intention to approve. To my knowledge, nobody's done that, but I don't know.
No, I did.
You filed appeal, that's perfect. So if you did, I love it because, that will then slow the process. This has been going on since 2019. Okay, so.
If that's the case, why wasn't I told the truth when I brought my home?
Have you gone to any of the Burlington County meetings?
I went to the
In
one,
Mount Holly?
the Pinelands. No, I haven't.
Because that's the governing body that this needs to be addressed by. I mean, those are two county roads. We can all be opposed to it, and it doesn't matter. I don't know what the vote was for, because that was before me. Was it for road opening permits? What was the vote for?
The vote was in whether or not you were in favor of the circle.
So that wasn't a legal vote. That was more just like a.
It actually was their intent to proceed.
Okay.
And they basically took the legal position that if we blocked the county's intentions, that they would take the position that any liability associated with accidents at the intersection would be now the responsibility of Shamong Township.
I don't even know how we could block it.
Well,
We
that
couldn't
was
vote
sort of,
against it.
that was sort of my position. I think the county can do whatever they want.
Yeah, it's
quite
their road,
frankly.
so it doesn't. I think that.
But
That's what they used as the hammer to make the other council people do what they felt was the right thing, and that is that we don't want to be on the hook if somebody, God forbid, gets seriously injured there, then the town would get sued, and that was the motivation and the reality of what was going on. But with all that said, we know we could lower the speed limit, put rumble strips in there, put bigger stop signs with the LED lights.
Be a
There
four-way
could be
stop.
10 different things that we could do there. There's traffic at my intersection at Oakshade and India Mills. It's 10 times or 20 times greater than here. And then we don't need a circle there.
No.
So this is just, and the comment is, so everybody, if you don't know, they say, Mike, it's not your money. Well, it's federal taxpayer money, and this is the latest scam that's going on. When everybody is struggling in America trying to make it, they've got tons of money for things that we don't want and we don't need. So there's a town, I think at Chislehurst, that is looking for a circle. You know,
Chester.
Chester, is that it?
Yeah, it's just-
Let them put it there. It's just that we don't need it. It's the craziest thing in the world, Judy. So as far as that nobody advised you when you were telling your house. I mean, when you were buying your house, that would have nothing to do with the board because we didn't know you were.
Came from the township. My attorney, I have the copy of the letter in my closing papers that my attorney was given from the township stating a four-way stop with a blinky light. So I was fine with that. That
I
didn't
think-
bother me. Why wasn't I told the truth?
I just want to address that, and it's been a while since I've had this conversation with Sue, but the issue is that when you,
No, the issue is that he was a state trooper, the owner of the home, and
No,
so was
no.
his son.
ma'am, when requests are made at the time of purchase of property, they are made specific to the piece of property. The letter that you're referring to was on file in the township, but it wasn't on file in your property file. So the information that was in the property file was provided, but it wasn't,
It wasn't updated.
well, because it wasn't specific to just your property, it was specific to a project and a notice on a roadway. So it wasn't put in any of the neighboring properties,
False
files.
Information, though. Gotta
I'm
fix it.
not gonna argue the legal point with you, I'm just telling you what
I have
happened.
an attorney.
But you really you should go to the county meetings. That's
When-
governing
We don't even publicize that this meeting is going on tonight with Friday.
Burlington
We
County,
don't know.
Burlington County Board of Commissioners. I believe they meet every second and fourth Wednesday. I think we've had this conversation 2 or 3 times before. It's two county roads. They're the governing body that decides this. I'm trying to help you. You have to get people there. I'm just trying to help you. We don't have the power in this situation. Hi, how's it going?
I'm Bonnie Lynn Schneider at 98 Willow Grove Road.
Bonnie,
And
welcome.
and I used to on the planning board. Just questioning then, what is it that we pay as taxpayers to the county that we would be able to fight against them? I mean, this is our township, this is where we live. I know they're county roads. I've lived here my whole life, but I don't know where I would go to Burlington County to fight anything. I have been to the Pinelands Commission for other issues with businesses and things like that. But realistically, I've lived in that home for 23 years. There are times that I have seen 2 accidents at that intersection. The bottom line is there hasn't been a traffic study done since they've closed Atco Raceway, which is what caused a majority of the traffic that came by. I mean, there's no statistics that even prove there's reasoning for why they would just, hey, let's just plant it right there in Shamong because we have money to spend. I mean, I get that there's other places, but just give me a reason why. Because like I said, I've witnessed it. In the last 5 years, I have not witnessed nearly as many as I have when I first moved in.
I can give you some history on it. The feds passed a spending plan decades ago.
And I understand they have to spend money because if you don't spend it, then you won't be able to get it
So,
in other instances in other places. I understand
Yeah,
that.
look, the feds passed a spending plan. It had specific money for circles or roundabouts. That money got doled out to towns, that got doled out to counties, and the county has certain set of money specifically for these types of things. I think they picked dangerous intersections and they said, here's a $0 option because we have
And maybe
federal
in
money.
2019, it may have been, but
No,
we're in 2026, getting into 27,
and-
we're looking at, many years later that this is not an instance.
And this is why I'm saying the counties, because we all agree and we've all talked to the county. We've had the county here. We've all been to the county. I get it, but it's similar to the state DOT deciding to do something to a state highway. We wouldn't be able to say, no, you can't do that to a
We
state
can
highway.
make the right decision. So in front of the Piccoli, we did do the DOT. We asked, please make sure.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
we
a
asked.
Because we're looking for the safety of everyone.
We asked, they did a study, they
it worked.
agreed.
There was a study that was
Exactly.
done.
And then we did this with the county. We asked, they said no. So it would be like if
So
we
how do
took
keep
your
voting?
request.
Well, let me say,
They said no.
if there is a box turtle that's found out there, or the
We've been
moth,
looking.
or
Honestly, we've been looking.
that is one way.
We-
If you find that, that is one way to get this resolved, because I don't believe that they did a proper study.
They didn't do any stuff.
So I agree with you. And I think we haven't had a vote with these people here, but I can tell you right now that I think that if that same ordinance came up, or opportunity to vote again, that it would not pass. Okay, but we're not there.
So how do we do that?
So now you need to
Another
be, your next
vote.
step is to go to the Pinelands on Friday morning at 9:30 with your neighbors and make it known that you do not want the circle here.
But
And there's already been, Judy says there's already been, she filed an appeal, which I'm happy to hear about. And that should, let a judge decide whether it's the administrative law or here in Burlington County Superior Court. I think it'll be the administrative law judge. Did the Pinelands Commission do what they were supposed to do? The Pinelands Commission has said, Mike, thanks very much for your comments, but we're not interested in your comments about
But that's-
it's going to destroy Judy's road,
They
her
can-
house.
You're the person in charge.
you,
that they
you,
would just
you really
act
have
like
to
it
go
did.
to the county.
Well, what their point was, hang on, what their point was is they're only concerned about the preservation of our natural resources. So, and I did make that a highlight of my comments, that
I saw.
you're destroying something that doesn't need to be destroyed, right? And so the next step is, I would say, if 50 people went out there Friday morning at 9:30 and made it known with their signs and their presence that we don't want this, that perhaps some voices will be heard.
That has to go to the county. Obviously, the Pinelands votes on their comprehensive management plan. It's going to vote on impervious surface, how much impervious surface is being added. Is there wetlands in the area? Stuff like that. It's all, they're all
I know
science.
that's $2 million, but that when we sat and heard it at our meeting,
I'm
that didn't
really-
include everything
I
around.
know, I'm
it.
really trying to be as helpful as possible to where the
So
people
where
have to
can
go.
we
It's
go to the
It's
county?
Rancocas Road in Burlington County, Mount Holly. That's where they meet twice a month, because the Pinelands votes on scientific things. 50
I've been
people,
there.
5,000 people. If it matches their comprehensive management plan, it's really not going to matter. If they're saying you're not adding a lot of impervious surface, you're not doing it in wetlands, then it's just a process. It's not. But the county, that's politics. That's people who are voted in by us, everybody in the county. We all vote for them, Board of Commissioners. I used to cover county meetings when back in a past life as a journalist. We had people, there's people, do you remember the Centerton Road Bridge? It connected Mount Laurel to Willingboro.
Okay.
People went to those meetings for a couple years when that bridge was closed because the county said it's redundant. 295 now exists. It didn't exist before. The bridge had a crack in it. They closed it down. They said no more bridge. Because people showed up to those meetings, they went forward with a study to see if we need the bridge. And that happened because people went to that governing body that decides on the bridge. That's the governing body that decides on this. So that's why I've been saying, if you are against this, that's where you need to go. Not because we don't want you here, not because we don't like listening to you, but because we have no power in this situation. And I don't even think that vote would have mattered if we said no, because it's probably road opening permit. Like they could have sued and got through it anyway. I've seen that a million times because it's their roads. So that might have just been a friendly thing. Like, so I'm really not trying to like be combative, but be helpful that that's where people have to go. And I know it's Mount Holly. It's not that close. People here might not be familiar with Board of Commissioners and what they do, but it's a, 5-member board that looks over the whole county and makes decisions on county roads, county properties, the college, the BCIT, stuff like that. Bridge, they do a whole. They repaired that. That's their bridge. So That's all. That's why I'm saying it. Come here every meeting and speak your mind. It's great and we love it, but that's where the action has to happen if there's a possibility to see a change. And that's why I keep saying it every meeting, because all of the Pinelands is just going to vote on the science of it all. So
So we need.
tugging at heartstrings. Yeah,
I don't
tugging
want
at
to cut you, I don't want to cut you
heartstrings
short, but I want to beat a dead horse. Thank you for coming out. I think the next thing to do is, look, government is supposed to be responsive to the people. And the Pinelands are supposed to be protecting, our environment. This is a no-brainer to me. Get your friends and neighbors to go out on Friday morning. And I don't care if you don't think it's the right place. It's the next step to let these people know that they're wasting our resources. They're not paying attention to us on something that is not needed, and it won't cure the problem. You're going to have as many kids go through the circle, see how fast they can go around it. Somebody's going to be a knucklehead and not stop at the sign. They're going to be a knucklehead in the circle. So I hope that answers your question. It's frustrating for all of us. It's an issue that I'm big on as well. I don't like the way it's played out in any sense whatsoever, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that it doesn't occur at this intersection. So, all right, we're getting long in the tooth on public comment, but if anybody else has anything else to say, you're welcome to come on up. Yes, sir. Hi, good evening, Jerry.
No, I feel like my issue is minor after all that.
All right.
I'm talking about the.
How'd you say your name, Jerry?
Jerry Schwartz, 1 Twin Oaks Drive.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. I'm looking at the Twin Oaks driving parking analysis, and I see that and I understand the whole situation, but between 1 Twin Oaks and 5 Twin Oaks, there's 26 feet of space that I measured today. And I looked at the analysis done by the engineer, and he says that's not, an emergency vehicle cannot make it through there. But I looked it up, an emergency vehicle needs 15 feet, and we have 26 feet. So I'm asking for like an amendment to the parking variance from 1 Twin Oaks to 5 Twin Oaks, just so I can park some vehicles there. I have 5 children.
Got it. Jerry, if there's a car parked there between you and the next property, is there 26 feet from the car to the
26 feet from the curb to the medium, but you only need 15 feet maximum for an emergency vehicle.
Got it.
And standard New Jersey vehicles are 5.8 feet. So you still have another 6 feet to go.
Got it.
And I sent some pictures to everyone
I
in
received.
regards to that.
Chief, how wide is the fire truck?
I think they're like 11 and a half feet fire truck. Yeah, I looked it up today. 11 and a half feet are fire trucks.
Okay.
So I'm 26 feet is more than adequate space from 1 Twin Oaks to 5 Twin Oaks. I'm just asking to park there.
Okay. So we have our engineer here.
Oh, perfect.
So we'll be able to talk about it right now. But my feeling is if there's not a safety issue, that if there was enough room to get the fire truck, because you're not talking about at the corner as you pull
No,
in.
not at
You're
all.
talking past your house.
Yes, it's 25 feet before my
sir.
mailbox and 40 feet past 5 Twin Oaks mailbox.
got
I
it.
measured it today.
Okay.
That's all I'm requesting.
So everybody wants to be able, especially with 5 children, and you have
Yeah.
5 cars going on. Everybody wants to be able to park safely in front of their house or during their driveway. So I
Right.
understand that. So with that, I'm going to ask our engineer if he has any comments, and maybe he'll take a second look at that, what you're requesting.
I can do that. I can definitely take a second look. I just looked at it from state statute perspective and the lane, the one way coming in, that lane, plus or minus 14, 15 feet, the lane width. So no
But
parking.
that's coming in, and
Understand.
then it opens up.
Understand,
Yeah.
there's a turning lane, a left
Right,
turn lane
so
there.
25 feet from my mailbox is when it opens up. That's
So-
what I'm requesting.
Right, and so state statute requires that you leave 15 feet available for passing emergency vehicles. And it doesn't permit parking within the intersection itself. So from, say, median to median, that's considered the intersection. So state statute doesn't allow parking there. On the drive aisle lane, that's 26 feet,
Mhm.
depending on the length of that, right? Because there's some transition area where it goes from 15 to 26.
Yes, I do agree with you there.
So at some point past that transition, you have 26 feet available where a vehicle could make the transition and get around.
Yes, and that include that in that 45 feet after the mailbox of 5 Twin Oaks.
Yeah,
I include 6 feet
it
of
sounds
transition.
simple. What I would suggest really is that you have biggest truck that needs to get by there and test it out and see where.
I sent pictures to the board, and there's plenty of room.
Yeah, I was out there last week
Okay.
and I looked at the the screenshot you sent today.
Yes.
Saw that, I saw your video, and like I said, I was there, so I see that, if it's doable, then it's doable. I think you need the vehicles there to actually see what works and what doesn't,
Okay, so
Instead
what's the
of
next
just
step? What is the
plan
next
it on a
step?
piece of paper. Cause I can draw it on a piece
You
of
have a
paper.
big truck you can get out there and take a
I
picture?
do. I have commercial vehicles. I can bring one out there if we need to.
Let's do that. Do that,
That
Jerry.
mimics the
Okay.
fire department's biggest equipment, then yeah.
Chief,
Okay.
you want to have it, you want to do a test on that as well?
My one comment to that is it's not the single cars that cause an issue. It's when you have cars nosed into the median and then there's cars on the curb as well. It gets very tight trying to squeeze them in there, if they can even pass at all. And sometimes they're having cars parked on the skinny part of median.
And I agree with you 100% there. In the skinny part of the meeting, they should not be there. We're just asking for that small area, 25 feet before my mailbox and 40 feet post Twin Oaks mailbox. That could be open for parking for myself, kids and elderly, whatever. And
Like I said, and that, I'd have to see it, but that probably wouldn't be an issue, but when you have cars there and then you nose cars into the median.
but the cars in the median are still past the 26-foot threshold. So they 26 feet.
There's a car on the side.
But yeah, so you have 26 feet to is the actual between the median, and then a car is roughly 6 feet. So it's still 19 feet of room. There's no fire truck, there's no emergency vehicle that's 18
Assuming
feet.
they're dead up against the curb.
Okay, well, you go 2 feet over, so 17 feet, say. A fire truck is 11.5 to 13 feet. Max is 13 feet, the biggest fire truck you have.
And you're talking about the intersection of Meadowview and Twin Oaks?
Yes, I'm talking as you
Yeah.
turn into Twin Oaks, yes.
Is there parking on Meadowview?
There is parking on Meadowview.
Could we solve it by doing that?
But say I have elderly people that come to my house and I have 5 children. So I'm have my children park on Meadowview and walk to my house?
Yeah,
when I'm-
right?
No,
That's not bad.
it's not feasible.
Why?
Well, because first of all, I pay $26,000 in taxes. Yes, thank you. Yeah, and
No, I get that, but
if we have 26
That's
foot of,
a
if we have 26 feet of room and you only need supposed to have 15 feet of room for an emergency vehicle, we have 11 feet more.
Yeah, I think the problem is because it's the intersection. And
Well, it's not the
And there's a
intersection.
stop sign there, so if
Yeah.
you can't park, you have to, I don't know what the distance is parking from a stop sign.
Long time since
Tell
you
you.
took your test?
I think it's 20 something
And
feet, so
25
now
feet.
it's further down Meadowview.
50 feet.
Yeah, so now we're talking further down Meadowview for parking. It's
It's
not-
not
doesn't
feasible.
make sense.
It really isn't feasible.
when there's parking right
All
there.
right, Jerry, here's what I'm going to suggest. If you can
Okay.
get together with the chief and and Joe Hirsch, who's our engineer, his information you have, and get out there and have a meeting. I think you should be able to park in front of your own home. If you can do it safely, then it's a no-brainer. If the chief can get his truck through there and we can massage this, it's a no-brainer for
That'd
me.
be great. I was exchange numbers, that'd be great. Thank you very much. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Jerry.
it. Thanks,
Appreciate you
guys.
coming out. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Yes. Hi, good evening, Diana.
Diana Antonucci, 2 Stony Creek Court. I'll keep it short because I know we're running long.
We are running really long tonight. Good evening.
I just wanted everybody to know, Murphy's Pit, I don't think last weekend, but I think the weekend before, late at night, there were people got down there, started not a huge fire, but a fairly large fire. And when the fire department was called, the kids, well, I don't know the age of the people, but the people who tried to put it out, they ran around away like roaches. And the fire department went down there, said it wasn't properly put out, and they smelled gasoline. So just so you guys know. Thank you.
Thanks, Diana. Anybody else have any questions or comments? If not, I'll close the meeting to public comment. We almost didn't make it.
My name is Roseanne Rowe. I live at 51 Old Schoolhouse Road.
Hi, Roseanne, welcome.
I don't understand why none of the other options have been on the intersection. Why haven't they looked into any of the other options? When I moved here, there was nothing at Stokes and Oakshade. And there were accidents. Okay, they put a 2-way stop. That didn't work. They put the 4-way. There are very few accidents there now. Why can't we have that? That can't cost over $1 million.
No, much less. So
Right. So I don't understand what they're thinking. My heart says it's going to grease somebody's palm that's going to do this work. And that's why they're doing it.
I
We
think
don't
you're
want-
probably right. I think this is driven by the money, and there's a pot of money from the feds and the people that can make the decision saying, oh, here's where we can spend it. And if, guess what? If you can find a place where it's needed and it saves from accidents, it's perfectly, legitimate. The way it started was, there were a number of accidents and there's no obstructions here. You can see, so the speed
Oh, I
is.
know, because I ran so many EMS calls there.
Right, I
you
know that. So, but
Hopefully-
the speed, so we asked just for them to come and take a look and asked for a blinking red light LED, which is how it started. And they, powers that be came in and they came back and said, we're going to get a $20 million circle. Don't worry, Mike, it's not your money. That's what they told me.
But it is our money because
It is our money. That's exactly right. So the thing is just out of our control because it's a county road, as you heard. I've made every attempt to do everything I can except to file a pro bono lawsuit, and my cup is full. I don't think I could put another drop in, otherwise I would do it. But that's where we are. So the way you can do is go Friday, and then as Deputy Mayor says, you can go out to the powers that be and say, ask for a reconsideration, and I'll be happy to do that with you.
county commissioner meeting is tomorrow.
All right, very good. That's good information.
49 Rancocas Road. It says it's from 7 to 8 at night, but I would call just to confirm the time with them. Thank you.
They go quick,
Yeah.
just as a forewarning, so.
Okay, anybody else have anything to say? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we're going to close the meeting to public comment. That may be our longest public comment in a couple of years. We've had longer, but we appreciate everybody coming out and sharing their ideas. All right, now we're going to go for discussions and possible official action, and I'll move as quickly as possible. First on the agenda is the approval of the May 5, 2026 regular minute meetings. Everybody's had an opportunity to review it, and if so, can we have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the May 5th meetings.
Thank you.
I'll
Megan.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
So next is the Finance Commission approval recommendation for the proposed roundabout at Stokes and Willow Grove Road. That we just discussed at length. I think everybody's aware of that, so there's no motion needed on that. Anything additional you want to add to that, Lisa?
I'd just like to add that 2 of the recent letters that were released by the Pinelands are available on our website. They've been uploaded. You can see them right on our homepage under the news tab. I've also put the information on the door about the meeting and what the appeal procedure is right on this outside door here.
And Lisa, was all of that posted previously so people in town would know about this?
Yes, yep. Yeah, as soon as we got this letter, this was issued on May 22nd. We made it readily available on the website.
Right.
And then the second letter was just on the 27th.
All right, great. And you can find that under the news tabs?
Mhm.
Okay, great. All right, but now we're moving because we're going to go past number 3 because that was Murphy's Pit. We're done with that. We're making some drive. And number 4, we just discussed with Jerry. It's a Twin Oaks Drive parking analysis, and you guys are going to get together and see if there's something you can work out on that that's satisfactory. Next, we're going to move to the Dingletown Recreation Field update. Can you give us an update on that, please, Lisa?
So I just wanted to give an update. There was a post on Facebook that was brought to our attention back the middle of May, and there were some concerns about safety and trash items. So I just wanted to give an update in case anybody was looking for one. We had spoken to IMAA, so that way we're all on the same page. And some of the suggested remediation that we'll take is we're going to put up more signs so that way it's clear to even visitors that it's take in, take out. No littering. We're going to put up more signs that there's surveillance cameras in use. We're going to get a price quote on possibly adding an extra dumpster during the busy season. Currently, they pick up once a week, one 6-yard dumpster, but the Garden State Removal, which is our trash company, believes that there's a dumping issue with our residents. So we'll put up some signs that there's surveillance cameras in use and that no dumping is allowed. And then our Public Works is going to remove all of the old goals at Stony Creek. We did remove the ones previously at Dingletown. We weren't aware there were any at Stony Creek, so now we're going to take care of those. we're going to go ahead and assist the IMAA with alerting residents of when the spring and fall cleanups are. So keep an eye out for website announcements, and we'll send out residents alerts. So that way we can try to assist with getting everyone involved with the cleanup, because that seemed to be the responses on the Facebook, that everyone wanted more information on how to help. The batting cages, there was a concern about them being broken. Those were taped off immediately when we found them broken after the storm, and they're on an upcoming grant, as well as the Dingletown sign is on an upcoming grant. So if there's any future concerns, we ask if you can do the report of concern right on our website portal. That way we get it immediately. We don't always have access to see any Facebook posts of concern, or just give us a call, reach out directly. That way we can make sure we address anything efficiently.
Thank you, Lisa. If anybody has noticed, you're supposed to take your trash out from there. So my comment would be, let's get IMAA to pay for the dumpster, since they're making money when they have these travel teams that come in.
It comes out of the Clean Communities grant,
Okay, great.
but we can definitely, if you'd like.
I'd like to see if we can get reimbursed, because my understanding is that they're making money when they come in with these tournaments, and they're making big money, so they should be paying for that.
Okay, so
So-
I definitely think that's something they would be open to. So I am still waiting back for the quote on what they charge us, because Guard State does, because we're a municipality, they work with us. So we'll work on that and bring that to a future meeting.
Great, thank you, Lisa. Next is just a note that the Shamong Township meetings are now available on YouTube. So all you people that came up, I hope you smiled, because everybody saw you. And that was something we've been working on for a while, because it used to be just the audio, now it's the video, so people can have a better understanding of what's going on. Next is the application to the NJDEP Resilient New Jersey Regional Planning Grant, submitted collectively with Burlington County, Evesham, Medford, Medford Lakes, Tabernacle, and the Pinelands Preservation Alliance. That's a mouthful. What's going on there, Lisa?
So I'm just looking to see if the board's willing to approve our application again. It's a joint effort with the surrounding towns, and we did apply for this last year, but we weren't granted it. So this is just going to go in again. And if we are chosen as part of a grant award, it would be to assist our local resilience planning, since there's a lot coming down from all of the Resilient NJ and what's the other one? Joe? I'm sorry, what's the other one coming in? The NJ Real?
Oh, the NJ Real?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Real.
another storm.
So this will help, this will help us with any requirements that may be in the future that we don't see yet. So this will help with that. So I just need, if you are willing to put in again with the county for this.
Yeah, so we need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll
for
second.
that application.
Ms. Mositis?
Yes.
Mr. Southwick?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Mr. DeCroce?
I vote yes. Next is the AI data center development, which we discussed earlier. We're going to discuss that now further, or you want to do that in executive session?
Questions, I'm not sure it's been circulated to everybody, but if it hasn't, we can make sure that it's in circulation. You guys can take a look at it. It's pretty straightforward. You just take the position that it's not permitted under our current code, but in the interest of abundance of caution, we're going to specifically identify it and make it a prohibited use in all zones. Take a look at it. If you guys are okay with it or want to proceed with it, just let Lisa know. We'll have it on the next agenda.
Perfect. I reviewed it and I am in favor of it, so we'll let everybody else have an opportunity, unless everybody is willing to say that they've already read it and they're good with it, or you need some more time.
We would need more time, so it's going to be put on as an ordinance. So we'll send it out for review. We'll put on for July, and I'd also be interested in reaching out to Ms. Zucara for the additional information on the micro to see if that's any language that Doug would want to add.
That's perfect. Thank you. Thank you both. All right, next we're going to move to resolutions, a blanket motion for the ABC license renewals for 2026 and 27. It's 2026 R-63, 64, and 65 has been withdrawn. So 63 and 64 is the ABC license renewal for TMP, and 64 is for the Piccadilly Inn. Anybody have any questions or comments? If not, can we have a motion?
I'll make a blanket motion for 2026 R-63 to 65.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Mr. Southwick?
Yes.
Ms. Mazitas?
Yes.
Mr. DeCroce?
I vote yes. Next, the resolutions authorizing the approval for submission of a grant application to the New Jersey Department of Transportation Municipal Aid Program for improvements to Atsign Road Phase 5. Hard to believe that we're
We're up to
on
phase
Phase
5.
5. Go ahead, Joe. You want to give us
Yeah, so
background?
this is the 2027 NJDOT Municipal Aid Program. We've been fortunate the last at least 5 years for Atsign Road to get grants anywhere from 200,000, 300,000 in that neighborhood. This will be phase 5. This will go, we're a little bit out of order. We started towards the south. This next phase is the next worst area, which is south of phase 1. If you remember where we started, south of phase 1 would be phase 5.
Got it.
So we're going to apply for probably $400,000 to $500,000. We'll probably get $200,000 to $300,000 more than likely. It's due July 1st. So this supports that application submission.
Just so everybody knows, we've been able to do all these roads like Grassy Lake Road, which you may recall was a mess. It used to be fill up like a lake when it rained. That Atsign Road and a number of other roads, all on the state's dime. Now we're all paying a quarter extra in our gasoline for that fund, right? So we're just getting some of our money back, but it's probably saved us, Joe. I'm going to say at least 3 million. Do you have a better estimate than that?
I don't have the history on my report anymore of all the roads, but 4 phases on Grassy Lake for sure. I came in on phase 3. So there was 4 phases of that. 4 phases so far of Atsign. Average 250 a piece is $2 million.
Yeah.
So I mean, over the past.
Yeah, I remember Grassy Lake was at least 2 million.
Yeah.
So we're grateful for that. The county does a lot of good things for us, like the Shadow Lake Bridge. I said, why do you guys still have a wood bridge where everybody's getting woken up at night because the car's going over a wood bridge? Why don't you fix it with McAdam? And they did it, and they've been very responsive. So we don't want to beat them up too badly, but we want them to be responsive that we don't want this freaking circle. Right? So thank you, Joe, for that.
Yep.
We need a motion for 2026 R-66.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Mike.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Mr. Southwick?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Ms. Mazitas?
Yes.
Mr. DeCroce?
Yes, next is 2026 R-67. This authorizes a tax overpayment refund, which we do quite often. And what are the circumstances behind this, Lisa?
So this is requested by the tax collector. It was just an overpayment on taxes. Sometimes that happens between purchasing.
Got it. Okay. Any questions or comments? If not, can we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Ms. Mazitas?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Southwick?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Mr. DeCroce?
Yes, 2026 R-68. This is an emergency temporary budget appropriations.
So because we were pushed off a little bit on the budget intro from last month, we just need a little bit extra to get by so we can continue to pay bills. So we are looking to adopt an additional $28,654.96. This includes the payment of our Green Acres loan, and it'll be contributed to our next volunteer fire company quarterly payment.
Any questions or comments? If not, can we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Dave.
I'll second it.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Mr. Southwick?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Ms. Mazitas?
Yes.
Mr. DeCroce?
Yes, 2026 R-69. This authorizes an overpayment refund. Who do we owe money to?
This was an accident in the rabies clinic. There was a check accidentally attached with someone wasn't a Shamong resident. They thought they had to pay for the rabies shot. So we just have to give their money back. It's $15.
Okay. Hardly worth the paper.
Yeah.
Can we have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Ms. Mazitas?
Yes.
Mr. Southwick?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Mr. DeCroce?
Yes, 2026 R-70 has been postponed until our next meeting. Then the next and final resolution is 2026 R-71. This is the 2026 budget introduction. And as I indicated in past meetings, we're unfortunately going to have to raise our taxes in Shamong. The raise is going to be under $10 per month. And it's because we have the EMS issue and the cost of living increases and payroll issues and healthcare issues. So $10 a month ain't going to kill us, right? Our taxes are less than a nickel to Shamong, 50% to the school, and we're trying to get control of that, to our local school, 50.8%. To Burlington County is about 20%, and the remainder goes to Seneca, the big school. So that's the deal. That's where everybody's in your pocket. The good news is we're taking about 3.85% from Shamong, and that's what we run our town on. And everybody up here is concerned about having to raise taxes whatsoever. But that's where we are. So, Lisa, do you want to give us any other update on that?
Oh, sure. So we're looking for, previously on your tax bill, there was always 2 cents going to the local purpose open space, which that has sunsetted as of 2025. So we're going to take those 2 cents that you were already paying and allocate it towards what we're going to require. So there's going to be just a small tax increase for that. But of course, the majority of Mayor DeCroce said is going to the EMS. It's also going to the increase in healthcare. And then there just hasn't been a general increase in a while. So this is the one time that we'll need it. And we don't take it lightly. We are very conservative with any spending here. We have very light staffing, and we are responsible and make decisions that we consider the residents in every decision we make.
Okay, anybody have any questions or comments? And we don't need a motion on that, right?
Yes, we do, please.
Okay. We have a motion, please, for the introduction of the 2026 budget.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Southwick?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Ms. Mazitis?
Yes.
Mr. DeCroce?
Yes.
And I just wanted to add that now that the introduction's done, by the end of this week, the budget will be available on our website, and we would plan to adopt it at the next meeting of Tuesday, July 7th, and that's going to be at 7:30.
Doug, do you have anything on that?
Gonna make sure that she said what she just said.
Perfect. All right, great.
Yeah.
All right, we'll close out the resolutions, everyone. Now we're on the ordinances, and I'm happy to say there are none. Sometimes the best action the government can take is nothing. The approval of the attached bill list, 1 million this month, $1,691,588.62, of which 50% goes to our local school. And under a nickel, 3.85% goes to Shamong Township. Everybody have an opportunity to review that, and if so, can we have a motion? And if there's no motion, we won't pay the bills.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second it.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Mr. Southwick?
Yes.
Ms. Mazitis?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Mr. DeCroce?
I vote yes. Next, we'll go right to the reports. Township Engineer, Mr. Hirsch, good evening.
Good evening. The only update I have, other than what we've already covered, is the Phase 4 of Atsign Road project, which has last week received approval from DOT to go out to bid. So I will coordinate with Lisa and set up a date for the bid opening, but otherwise we're ready to go. We'll solicit bids and get that moving.
Excellent. Thank you.
That's it. That's all I have.
Next to our Township Solicitor, Mr. Heinold, good evening.
Good evening again. I have already given an update on Bighorn. I will just add that we are staying on top of them to try to press forward on seeing site security improvements as soon as they have control of that site. And I already addressed the data center issue. If you have any questions about that you want to relay to me, email me, call me anytime, so that we can talk through it before the next meeting.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our Township Administrator, good evening, Lisa Jordan.
Good evening. We have on the new items, our Seneca Seniors Day of Service was completed last week on June 4th. They did a beautiful job on our garden beds. They weeded, they laid the mulch, and then they planted flowers for us. So there were a few seniors that came over and they did just a great job. And our Public Works did a good job implementing that. So we're very appreciative. Obviously, there's paving going on Willow Grove Road. If you're looking for any update, you can go to our website, click right at the top banner, and that'll give you some information on there. we luckily got it postponed. Originally, it was going to start on 6/1. If anybody noticed originally, that's what was flashing. But they were very kind in postponing it to avoid any conflict with our election. So they're starting this week. They're expecting it just to last a few weeks, and the traffic's still flowing in this direction. So just be mindful of detours. And then the Indian Mills Volunteer Fire Company coin drop is at the intersection of Oakshade and Indian Mills Road on June 13th. And then this Sunday, America's 250th Festival will be held in Mount Holly. So there's lots of entertainment, and the Indian Mills Historical Society will be representing the township there at that event. We'll have a booth. And then we have the 99th Carranza Memorial Service will be upcoming on July 11th.
Perfect. If you haven't been there, it's a great event. Carranza was a young pilot from Mexico that flew from Mexico City to New York, and he was hailed as a hero when he went there. When he was supposed to leave, the storms in July hit, so he was told he should stay. After a couple days, the Mexican embassy told him, "You need to fly back." Well, while flying back, he crashed in Tabernacle and Shamong in the woods. And every year since then, we have had a ceremony. And this year it'll be on July 11th. Do you have any idea what time?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
I think it's around
1 p.m.
1 p.m. this year. So wear your shorts because it's always hot. This year, the governor is supposed to be there along with a Mexican ambassador. In years past, I've invited, back when President Reagan was in his first term, I invited President Trump to come along with the Mexican president, because you may recall they were feuding at that time. And I thought it'd be a neat idea to have them come out to the woods and see if they can work out their issues. But it's a great event for the family, and it's free. So, Janet, what do you got to say?
The Historical Society always puts a wreath out there.
Yes, they
to
do.
the Ceremony, and I'm the one that does it. That's not how I know.
Excellent.
It's a wonderful ceremony.
Excellent. Please come out and join us. I think I'm giving a speech again this year there. Next, we're going to go to John Lyons, the Office of Emergency Management. Good evening, John.
Good evening.
I don't know why we don't put you first.
It's okay. I'll get to listen to all the other good stuff. John Lyons, OEM for Shamong Township. Do the quarterly report next month for the second quarter. So just a couple of brief items. I wanted to thank the committee for and the community as well for the Memorial Day parade remembrance ceremony that we had. It was a soggy one, but it was a good turnout, and the folks that came were ready for the weather. So it was a good event, and thank you all for supporting that. Did want to mention one notable incident in the last month for emergency management and a lot of our public safety was on May 23rd. You probably read, and a number of you were notified by myself as well, that we had an incident in Morton within the Shamong Township confines that a group of young minors and their adult supervision were involved in a kayak issue where they got stuck in the river, and there was reports of hypothermia, possibly loss, and turned into a very large scale rescue. It was actually deemed as a mass casualty incident. It was a tremendous turnout for mutual aid support, Indian Mills Fire, Tabernacle Rescue, and a lot of our partners from both Burlington County, Ocean County, Atlantic County as well. The good news that I can share, obviously, is that everyone was rescued. There were no issues. And it was just a good outcome all around. So just tremendous working together for all the teams. Myself, appreciate Chief Bader was there as well, and Lisa came out, helped us out with some respite. Probably had upwards of 100 responders on site at the outside area there with Park Police, et cetera. So it was a big incident and was worth mentioning for us. Thank you for mentioning the coin drop. That is a big fundraiser for us. We've actually extended. We used to do a half day because the traffic that you mentioned when the racetrack was there. We had great support from the out-of-towners. The traffic is much lower now, so we actually extend it like the Knights of Columbus does, and we're there from about 8 in the morning till about 5 at night. Reason why we do that is it takes us twice as long to make about the same money we used to make years ago. So there's a testament for your traffic study. But if anybody wants to participate, because I know a number of you have come out and collected with us, we welcome the assistance. If you want to just reach out to Charlie, myself, or Chief Bader, just let us know. But we'll be out there for the day. Weather permitting, right now it looks sunny and 90. So wear those same shorts, and we appreciate it. Lastly, our fund drive has kicked off. Officially, mailers have gone out to all the residents and businesses We have started to see some donations trickling in. It's worth mentioning that, we talk about grants for road paving and others that are kind of every year. At the moment, with the exception of federal grants at the AFG level for FEMA, there's nothing. This is probably in the years that I've been doing treasury work and grant work for Indian Mills Fire. I don't see anything at the state level. A lot of the private industry ones have dried up. So we're really reliant on the township support and the goodness of charity donations in our fund drive. So it's all the more important than anything. So just worth saying that. Appreciate the support. Any questions?
No, sir. Thank you, Tom.
All right.
Appreciate you. And great day at the Memorial Day Parade.
Yes, it was
That was
a good
awesome.
day. It's a good day. Thank you.
Thank you. Chief, good evening.
I'm Mike Vader, Chief of the Fire Company. John covered most everything that I had to talk about as well. Only other update would be, I guess, the new fire truck. We're maybe about a week or two away from finally putting it in service.
When do we get to see it? You gonna invite us all down to check it out?
We'll do something, I would assume. Doesn't have any graphics on it yet. We're waiting. The guy that does it all by hand. He's finishing up some trucks in Morristown at the moment. He's supposed to start ours, I believe, next week.
Great. Okay. I told Charlie we'd like to see it in the parade. He said he didn't want to get it wet.
Yeah, it looks funny with no lettering on it, right? But that's it. Like I said, John covered everything else.
Excellent. Thank you, Chief. Thank you for coming. And Tabernacle Rescue Squad, anybody here for that?
No, he had reached out, Dave Taylor, and he was not able to come in, but he submitted a report that's in your packets, and I'll just give a quick update. It's the May 2026. It looks like they have shift coverage for April, 99.7%. Shift coverage for June as of 6/9 is 96.5%. And then there's a list of the calls from April, and then calls by municipality broke down. So Shamong was 48 calls, which was 33.3% of their calls.
All right, great. Just so everybody knows, you may already know because it's hit the newspapers quite a bit. But we've lost our EMS. Used to be that they were all volunteer. So what's happening in New Jersey is that they're going to a paid staff. So if you were a volunteer here in Shamong, and our lady who was here earlier has already left, what you did, you came and volunteered. And they are the people with the biggest hearts and the most talent. But they got snatched away because you could go right up the street and now get paid for it. So little towns like ours are getting squeezed where it's no longer viable to have a volunteer fire. Well, we still have fire, thank God, but EMS. So we've been with TRS, which is Tabernacle Rescue Squad, for a number of years, and they've indicated to us there's going to be a substantial fee. So what we've done is we have a committee, Deputy Mayor and I, and there's 5 other people, and Lisa's on it, who have met several times already, and we are soliciting bids or LOIs from adjoining towns to see if we can create some competition to see if we can get the fastest response time at the lowest price with people with big hearts. That's where we are. We're waiting for LOIs. We have another meeting that's coming up, I think, sometime in the next 30 days, and we'll keep you, abreast of what's going on with that. So with that said, I'll open back up the meeting to public comment. Anybody that's got smarter, that wants anything to say, come on up.
The green.
Just identify yourself, Denise.
Denise Ashworth. Whenever you said that the 2 cents for green space is sunsetted, whatever went away. What happens when you need money for green spaces? Is that just for 2026 and 2027? It comes back, the good old 2 cents?
Yeah, we still have substantial surplus in that,
Oh, do you?
that fund.
Okay.
So we'll be able to, when we want to go buy a farm or open acres,
Right.
which we want to do,
Okay.
we have the money for that. But so the tax increase, as I understand, is going to be about 5 cents, but we're able to offset that so that the residents are only going to feel 3 cents because the 2 cents we're moving over from that fund.
Okay.
So that's why it's going to be, it'll be about $9 a month. Is that where we are?
I think so. After we had cut the street sweeping, it moved down to, I think we were at $85 on the average tax hold annually.
All right, so we're even better. If you consider that, a tax increase even better, we're less than what I said. So let's talk about the street sweeping thing. The county has mandated. Thank you, Denise.
Done.
You're done.
The state.
The state has
The city
mandated
has
that we have to
I don't
have.
want to keep bashing the county. It's state.
We have to have a street sweeper come by in front of your house 3 times a year. So Mr. Diamond's come up with a great idea. Let's just have everybody go out and say they're going to sweep their own streets, which is what we do anyway. and the cost was going to be $20,000 per year. So where are we now with those suggestions?
So since the committee wasn't looking to include it on this current budget, we just went ahead and tabled it, and then I was going to bring it back at another meeting and bounce some ideas off of Joe, and also there was a suggestion to reach out for. We had looked at the cost of purchasing, which is just astronomical. So then we had reached out to anybody who would give us pricing quotes. The lowest one ended up withdrawing. So then the second best was the county, which came in just under $19,000 as a quote for the triannual street sweeping. Since there was a suggestion of possibly what the cost would be to rent, then we would just have to add what type of staff time that would take. And I was just going to go over that with Joe since he's a big help and knows all about this.
What's our cutoff date? Do we know with the state?
It would basically be your next report where you have to report what you've swept and when you've swept is due May 1, 2027.
27, okay.
That's when you will report for 2026.
Okay, so anybody here that is not willing to keep to sweep up their street occasionally, raise your hand.
No.
All right. So I like that. I mean, so we're gonna waste 20 grand to have a street sweeper that we don't need, right?
Do
So
those three sweeps have to be in a certain amount of time?
in the year.
Yeah, 2026.
Just in the year, there's no like first, second,
I
third.
mean, yeah.
Not that I read.
I'd have to look again in the permit and see if it says at a minimum X number of months apart.
And
But I don't believe it's in there. I think it just says triannual. So
Yeah.
and do we
3 times per year.
know the fine structure in that state law?
Well, Doug's already spoke to
Yeah.
this as to what, it'll be if you don't do this, then the state will say, I'll withhold your money.
Is there a fine structure in the state law is what I'm pretty much
Yeah, we
asking?
could be fined under the permit and we could have funds withheld, but why don't we try to work on this administratively and then we'll.
Okay.
So we're gonna work on this and get back to you, but just know that we're not interested in spending 20 grand on street sweeping. I see Janet out there all the time sweeping, so I think that together as a community, we can continue to police ourselves and not have to have the government tell us one more thing that we need to pay for. All right, so that's the end of my comment. Did I close the public meeting? No, go ahead.
Good evening again.
Good evening.
Anastasia Zaccaro, 1 Stony Creek Court. I wanted to share that in May, I was honored to be appointed to the Burlington County Board of Social Services. The board is committed to providing services to individuals, families, and to the community by preserving and restoring families, promoting self-sufficiency, providing information and referrals, protecting the well-being of children, the elderly, and the disabled. The board looks to build partnerships with community organizations and service providers. One example is the recent announcement that the Burlington County Board would now be distributing a free $40 farmers market voucher to eligible seniors for the purchase of nutritious and fresh food. Qualifying individuals will immediately receive a QR voucher redeemable for fresh produce and herbs sold at participating Burlington County farms and farmers markets. It is my goal to raise awareness of these programs for our seniors and help our local farmers right here in Shamong get access to these programs. Similar programs are available of these same sorts for families as well, and the board is committed to doing all we can to make for healthier living and more affordable living during these difficult times. So as elected and appointed individuals, feel free to reach out to me for any further information if I could be of assistance to help our residents here in Shamong. So thank you.
I have did that shelter open on Woodlane Road yet?
That I do not know. I went to the first meeting. I was sworn in last month, and then like 3
Congratulations.
days later, thank you. I attended my first meeting, but I hear all the robustness about the commissioners. I will be at that meeting. And to your point, Deputy Mayor, they do move quickly. So if anybody's going to be there tomorrow, just be on time, because unless there's a major issue, they do tend to wrap up in less than a half hour. So if there's anything else I could help with, I'd greatly appreciate it. Just give me a call. You have my phone number.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions or comments before I close this portion of the meeting?
I can just add, oh,
Denise, you only,
go ahead.
there's a three strikes, you're out.
Denise Ashworth, Shamong. I know this might not be possible, but is there any way that an agenda can be posted on the website earlier than the day before the meeting?
So by statute, it's required at least 48 hours
Right.
before.
John, that's already done.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
2 days.
before.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is that normal?
Well,
I
you
mean,
like-
it's very short notice if you wanted to, like, I wanted to bring 2 people with me and they didn't know, they couldn't come. So, because it's, I mean, is that what you all do? Is it always just?
Yeah, so the meeting's always the same time, so you can plan on 2 days before.
The agenda.
Yeah, the agenda is 2 days before, but the meeting always the same Tuesday. And
Right.
so you know you can just plan on coming, and you can always call your friends and say, don't come because there's nothing on there.
But if the agenda can ever get on the website earlier than that, I would greatly appreciate it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
the reason I reach out to the mayor the end of the week before because there's always last minute updates and things and then that also gives the committee the weekend some time to review just in case there's any changes before we send it out. And I just wanted to add, while we were on the topic of health, we were reached out to by Burlington County. They're looking to do a health clinic van. They just obtained, so they reached out to Shamong, and John Lyons was very helpful in suggesting where it would be a good place for them to come at least twice a month and do free care for residents. So we're working on that, and I will give more information when I have that available.
Thank you. Just a couple comments now, just remembering our veterans that are here this evening. Thank you. And also to remember in your thoughts and prayers what's going on in Iran, because there's a war going on. So we need to be aware of that and supportive of our veterans. So with that, I'm going to close the meeting to public comment, and we're going to have a motion to see if we go into executive session. And I'll explain quickly. Executive session is where we go in and talk about matters that are not yet public. It could be contractual issues, personnel issues. We don't anticipate we're going to take any action this evening. If we do, then we'll come back out and we will put that on the record. And our solicitors tell me thinks that we are going to take some action.
Yeah, so one of the items we have to discuss and bring the governing body up to speed with is a personnel matter. There are some items later on in the agenda that we do intend, if you guys are in agreement, to come out and take action on. So usually we don't anticipate action, but tonight we actually do.
All right, perfect. So you're all welcome to stay. We'll be back in the mayor's office discussing whatever we have to discuss, and then come back and we'll put it on the record. So you're welcome to stay, and you don't need to stay. And I just want to say thank you all. It's good to see you and appreciate you coming out and participating. All right, with that, can we have a motion to go in executive session?
I'll make a motion to go into.
I'll second the motion.
But then you're ultimately.
Ms. Bazitis?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Southwick?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Mr. DeCroce?
Yes.
Thank God for everybody.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. We got a couple people that are still left here. We're back from.
Excuse me, you should check the hallway.
All right, that's a good idea. Our solicitor will check the hallway to see if there's anybody
Yeah.
here before we take any action on our executive.
Don't want no hallway incidents. Let the
We
record
did
be
that.
known.
They made a big deal.
Yeah, the outside too.
Yeah, we outside.
What is your report, sir?
Just some people in the parking lot who kind of looked at me and shrugged.
Okay, our solicitor has checked the hallway and went outside to invite anybody in the public that was waiting for us to come back from executive session, which we're back from. And we're going to take some action. I'm going to kick it over to the solicitor for comments.
Yeah, we have some items that were listed on the agenda just to provide a little bit of background, and then I'll kick it over to Lisa, who's really been doing the extensive legwork on getting this all sort of back in place. But the long and short of it is that Jay Renwick, our long-term tax assessor, has decided not to retire. We had taken prior action to terminate shared service agreements that we've benefited from for years, where we share tax assessor services with other municipalities. And because Jay is now retiring, those towns want to continue on. And with that, I'll turn the explanation further over to Lisa.
Great. So with what resolutions are on the agenda, the first one, 2026 R73, will be rescinding the previous resolution 2026 39, and we're going to reinstate the shared service agreement with North Hanover Township for the tax assessor services. So that's just going to reinstate and remain as is. 2026 R74, we're rescinding resolution 40, which is the same thing with Tabernacle Township. So both of those townships will continue services with the existing agreements. 2026 R-75, we're going to rescind previous resolution 2026 R-41. This is for Burlington Township. We're going to authorize a new shared service agreement. So it's mimics the previous shared service, but due to additional hours, they're increasing their compensation. So we just need a vote on that.
All right, thank you for going through that. You see before you the blanket motion 73, 74, 75, which we've had an opportunity to discuss and review. Can we have a motion and a second, please?
I'll make a motion for the blanket motion for 73, 74, and 75.
Thank you.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you.
Ms. Mazitis?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Southwick?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Mr. DeCroce?
I vote yes.
Great, thank you. We look forward to continuing with him. He's great.
It's a great job,
Yeah.
and we appreciate Jay staying on, and we appreciate these two lovely people who have stayed to the end of our meeting. And with that, we'll ask for an adjournment unless there's anybody that has comments or suggestions. Go ahead then.
Oh, you want me? I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Thank you, Emily. Welcome to Shamong. We meet every